Abby, have to ask you to unmute. Okay, say something.
Okay. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi there, Herbs
Your
Private.
co-host. And all right, great. So now you should be able to share. Um,
Let's have a go at
Let me
that.
see. To introduce Abby,
Uh-huh.
Abby sent us an email and said, I want to help teachers in Poland. What can I do? So she was actually one of the people that gave me some input into coming up with this idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of talking about it, and some other people had mentioned this idea too.
Ah,
And so Abby came up with a whole course for you.
just
So
one conversation.
yeah, boy, the influence and the pressure I put on people. I'm proud of myself.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm
so
going to let Abby tell you about what she has.
uh-huh.
So take it
Okay.
away.
Thank you so much. And I really like the last presentation. I only caught the last bit, but the yoga and the things before the lesson sounds absolutely divine. I've signed, that's such a great idea to do yoga before a class. That's so lovely. Okay, so and I need to include that in my class, maybe some deep breathing exercises before my lesson. Okay, so I'm going to start here. So welcome everybody. I'm Abby. And I want to just begin with a quick funny story about my teaching days in Poland. So let me take you back to 6 years ago. I'm an enthusiastic English teacher and ready to inspire my students and connect with fellow teachers. And here's the thing, I barely speak Polish. My Polish is very bad. And whenever I'd bump into other teachers, especially those who taught the older kids, I'd get excited thinking, oh, here's my chance to speak English. But what would happen is that they would start chatting away in Polish, like, I was there, I was from there or something. So here I am standing there with a huge grin on my face, nodding along like I understood every word. And inside, I'm panicking because I can't even string a full sentence together in Polish, basically. So then it hit me that if anyone should be comfortable speaking English, it should be, English teachers. They've been through many years of education to learn, they know how to teach it. But they were also so scared to speak up. So I also noticed I was too scared to speak up. So in Polish. So I was just, embarrassed, so embarrassed at saying, a wrong sound, a wrong word, and looking, a fool. So I couldn't help but laugh at the irony, really. So here I was, a teacher surrounded by other teachers, and yet we were all stuck in our little language bubble. And it made me realize how intimidating speaking a foreign language really is for all of us. And this is where the idea of starting a conversation club has come from. So, who here has felt the same when speaking up? I'm going to open up the chat. So, if you have also felt that fear of speaking up, thank you, Rob. Yes. Yeah, it's scary, scary times, isn't it? No one else feels like that. Oh wait, Herb's private. Have you also felt like that? Yeah.
Well, that's because they all speak Polish and you and I don't.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, but Polish is harder than English to speak. Okay, so let me move on. So I'm going to click this one. Okay. So I've been teaching, I'm going to move this chat box all over the world. Tanzania, I've taught, Nepal, I've taught in, and even in the UK. And when we moved to Poland 6 years ago, my kids started public school, just a normal public school, nothing fancy. And I noticed how English was being taught in this school. And it wasn't taught in a very fun way, let's say. And my daughter felt quite stressed with her lessons. And I thought there has to be a better way. So this is when I realized having conversation practice with teachers in Poland will massively help you and your students learn more English in the most fun and effective way. And I really believe that having conversations is just such a brilliant idea. It takes the pressure off and it lightens the mood, making learning way more enjoyable than those boring grammar drills that we often did at school. So there's just so much to chat about, people seem to relax when they talk freely, and it turns into a, excuse me, fun learning experience. So in turn, when you have more conversations with people, you will become better teachers that will inspire your students for sure. Let me just see what this is. Herbs private. I don't care. My vocabulary is 200 words in Polish. Oh, right. Okay. 200 words. That's good. Oh, right. Polish is very difficult, I must say. So conversation practice is my mission. That's all. 180 more than me. How long have you lived there, Rob? Many years.
2 weeks.
2 weeks this time, and then the last time. Okay, let's carry on. So the challenge that I see in Poland is conversations in Poland in English can be quite, a challenge. So you want to inspire the kids, but they have such a short attention span these days, and it's so hard to engage them. So it's a challenge all over the world, not just Poland. And and I have a free download, so you can scan the what's this called, QR code. So scan those QR codes, and you will receive a free download of the 25 conversation starters to play with, so you can use them straight away. Hold on, I'm just trying to. Oh, okay, that's something for Rob. Okay, so when we're talking about speaking to people who speak English, it can get a little uncomfortable to talk in English. So nobody will want to correct you. You know, when you have a conversation, you meet somebody, oh, you speak English, let's speak English. They will not want to correct you. So you will end up saying the same mistakes, over and over again. It's impolite to say, oh, you should say it like this. So you will continue making those mistakes, and you might ask them to correct you, please correct me if I say something wrong, which is often, what Polish people usually say, but it's uncomfortable to do that with friends, So there's platforms like Conversation Exchange where you can meet and you have a conversation. You can practice English, but let's face it, sometimes they lack the structure. So without a plan, you might end up just chatting about the weather or wasting each other's time. So plus, many Polish people can be a bit shy when it comes to speaking English. Like my story I told you at the beginning of the webinar with Polish teachers that I've experienced that many times. They won't speak English to me, even though they are, secondary age kids teachers. So can you relate? Can anyone here relate to that? Not feeling confident enough to speak English to other English speakers? Say yes in the chat if you can relate. So if you've ever hesitated to practice your English skills with other teachers, please say yes. So this shyness, yes, this shyness can make it tough to speak to someone and have a good chat in English, especially if the other person also, okay, absolutely. If the other person is also shy to chat. So that's, one major challenge. Also, life is very busy these days, life is just, I don't know what's happened since COVID days, but life is just 100 times, faster these days. So it's hard to carve out this time to make conversation practice and, focus yourself with speaking practice. So you often end up squeezing in a quick chat instead of really diving into a deep conversation. And let's not mess around with the pronunciation. I know Polish is one of the hardest languages, if not the hardest language to learn, with your crazy pronunciation, But English also has some tricky words. So they can also trip you up. And so they make you second guess yourself, and when you do finally get the chance to speak up. So with all these challenges, it's no wonder why people feel a bit stuck when trying to practice English in Poland. So what we really need is some structured practice that helps build confidence and makes speaking fun. And I've got something later on in my talk that might interest you. I'm going to move on. So yeah, this QR code will come up later as well. So don't worry if you don't have it. Hold on, click there. Okay, so why conversations matter for your English teaching skills. So having regular chats with your students is a great way to get them involved and encourage them to share their thoughts. You speak any other language apart from English fluently, or at least B1 level. It's easy to imagine how it is when you do. I've tried learning Polish. I tried many years, at least 2 strong years learning Polish, and I still, can't get a sentence together. Polish is very difficult. English is so easy, isn't it? So yeah, it's okay. Let's go back. So why conversations matter? And any other languages? I'm learning Spanish, and I've learned in the past Arabic and Kiswahili and things like that. So yeah, it's difficult for us English speakers. We just force the world to speak English. So having regular chats with your students is also very important. And talking is vital for improving your speaking and your listening skills. And when you give your students a chance to express their feelings and opinions, they feel heard and listened to. So meaningful conversations help build strong relationships between you and your students, making the classroom a place where everyone feels valued. Who here uses conversations in the classroom? Type yes if you do. Oh, good. Rob does. Yeah, it's so valuable. And conversations are so fun as well. It's important for us to show students that it's not just about grammar, gap fills, boring work. It's actually about having fun, and it's enjoyable. So that's why I'm so passionate about having more conversations in the classroom, as I found them so helpful when I was teaching teachers. These are the things that really helped them gain the confidence to speak. And it helps both you and your students to learn together in a fun way. So these are the things that we do in my conversation classes. And I'm going to talk to you about that later on and give you all the details. So let me click. Oh, wait, hold on. EN and DE. Oh, English and German. Ooh, fluent, teaching both. Wow. And where are you from, Herbs Private? Are you from Poland? A. English. Polish. You're Polish. No. A. Austria. You're from Austria. This is a number plate. It's like the car number plates. We play that game always. So you're Austrian and you speak English and German. Oh, right. Yeah, because that's
I thought it was Antarctica for sure.
Okay, so tell me, how comfortable do you feel speaking English? Type 1 for very comfortable, and 5, 1 is not very comfortable, and 5 very comfortable. No kangaroos. Australia. So tell me how comfortable. 10. Oh, good. You're very comfortable. You're off the scale. Okay, so Herbs Private, how do you feel about speaking English out loud in a conversation with others, English speakers? How comfortable? So 1 for not at all, and 5 for very comfortable. Oh, very good, Anna. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, Herbs Private is trying to think about it. So we've got a 4, a 10. Oh, Buello.
Just
10.
Herb say no, the mute, everything is muted because of
just
the
type.
bottom,
Yeah.
so you have to type in the chat. Sorry.
Yeah. We're just going to communicate via the chat. Okay, with English. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're all amazing English speakers. Maybe you could teach me a thing or two. Russia, 5. Oh, you're from Russia. Okay, so you're 5. So everyone's very comfortable. So wait, let me go up. If there's no, so you're all amazing English teachers. Okay, this is great. I'm off. Okay, so let's now dive into the world of perfectionism. It's this mindset where you set these impossibly high standards for yourself. It's like aiming for absolute perfection in everything you do. Sounds familiar? Yes, I know this is you. I know this is a Polish trait. it's my experience that every Polish person has this in their genes. You know, this kind of thinking can really lead to the fear of making mistakes and a lot of anxiety about how you perform. So now for many Polish speakers, this perfectionist mindset can particularly be super tricky. So you might find yourself striving for flawless English, which, let's be honest, can really slow down the progress. Instead of jumping into conversations and practicing, you might hold back because you're waiting until you feel perfect before you speak. But you know there's never any perfect. So this approach can lead to increased anxiety, lower self-confidence. You might miss out on valuable learning opportunities just because you are afraid of making mistakes. So, and also research shows that, you know, perfectionists often end up scoring lower in language skills because you're so afraid of messing up. Isn't that interesting? I found this study recently. So I want to talk to you about two of the challenges which I see in my practice that every Polish speaker faces. You might recognize these. So we've got the th sound. So who here has problems with the th sound? So this is a beautiful sound we have in English that you need to stick your tongue out. Yeah. So Polish people don't have this this sound in your language. This is why it's so hard. So we can practice now if you like, but I want to just go through. I'm just going to move the chat box over here. So we've got things like think becomes think, three becomes free, thank you becomes thank you. And also we have this becomes dis, that becomes dat, the becomes d. So why is this such a headache for Polish speakers? Well, it's not your fault, definitely not, because Polish doesn't have these sneaky th sounds. You have much worse sounds, by the way. You have ch, j, j, ch. So what happens? Polish speakers usually go for sounds they know. So you might swap an F sound like free instead of three, or d sound like dis instead of this. It's just your linguistic comfort zone, if you will. And here's the thing, Polish speakers learn the rules of English pronunciation. You don't get to ever practice. You don't get enough practice trial runs to actually practice these weird th sounds. So it's like knowing the rules to basketball, say, but never getting, you know, to dribble the ball. So you need that hands-on experience to really nail it. Remember, mastering these sounds takes time and practice. So if you're struggling with the th sounds, don't worry, you're in good company. I've got something at the end of the presentation that might help. Okay, let me go back to the chat. This is why I never hide my mistakes or even provide situations where students can correct my mistakes. Even teach. Oh, you teach. Okay, so you never hide your mistakes, Marta. That's good. Okay, let me go here. So does anyone struggle with this? Because now I know that you're expert English speakers. You must have this down. Does anyone struggle with that or feel like they struggle or no? If yes, type a word and then we can help each other out. So we can practice this now. Like none of you have got only Herb's Private has got his video on. So you can practice this. You can all have a go if you like. You can have this, that, and you have to really stick your tongue out. Another, together, through, thought, and it gets a bit harder. Although, whether, you can have a go, practice, you know, no one's going to see you, no one's going to hear you. You can really stick that tongue out. And then if you're brave enough, you could try this last little, what's it called? Tongue twister. Three thin, yep, I'm not going to go there, but you can all try it. Okay, let's keep going. And then another beautiful thing is you have the verb, mieć, to have. In many situations in English, we use the to be verb. So, for example, when you say masz rację, you might think it translates directly to you have right. But in English, we actually say you are right. And again, when you say mam urodziny, excuse my Polish, it's really bad, it translates as I have birthday. But the correct English expression is it's my birthday. And there are more uses of the word mieć. For instance, when you say mam 25 lat, it means I have 25 years. But in English, we say I am 25 years old. And so this can lead to confusion because you're applying the rules from Polish directly into English. So you might find yourself saying things like you have luck, or you are, instead of you are lucky. And why this matters is if you mix up the verbs, it can make your message a little unclear. And it might even give the impression that you're not so comfortable with the language, which we all want to avoid. So it's worth paying attention to this, little details to make you sound more natural. So when you're about to say something with the word have, pause for a second and just ask yourself, what would a native speaker say? Would they use he, to be here? And it definitely takes practice, but soon it will become second nature. So tell me in the chat if anybody's got any problems with this, if you've noticed yourself saying you have right. Let's see, I had this problem while at school, but then at university I had an amazing pronunciation teacher. Ego helped me tremendously. Maybe that was his name. That would be a weird name. Helped me tremendously. Yeah, that's what you need. You need a beautiful pronunciation teacher. Okay, let me just move this around. Okay. So, and speaking of native speakers, listen to them as much as you can. I wonder if this pronunciation teacher was a native speaker. So listen to podcasts, binge watch series, Netflix series, watch some YouTube videos. The more you immerse yourself in natural English, the easier it will be to pick up on these subtle differences. And yeah, your brain will start to recognize these patterns. And before you know it, you will be using be and have like pro, basically. Surprisingly, here in Russia, some minorities have sounds like in their own. Oh, right. Oh, what, in Russia? Oh, that's interesting. Thank you. I like hearing about that. Okay, so let me click there. Let's go with a little quiz I've got for you. So who's ready for a quiz? I know it's early. Like people had your morning coffee and breakfast. So I'm going to ask you here, is it A or B? So we're going to fill in the blank. I think you A have right or B are right. What do you think? In the chat box, please. B. Well done. Can't really move this chat box right in the way. He was, before I tell you, he wasn't a native, but he was trained plenty of teachers. All right, very nice. Okay, let me give you the answer. I think everyone's, hold on, I need to click there. B, yes, the second answer. I think you are right. Okay, number 2. Your friend just won money on the lotto. What would you say to celebrate? A, you have luck. B, you are lucky. Give me an A or a B. A or B, my people. Or maybe you don't. Or maybe I should have had C. I don't know. B, give me some money, please. Yeah, your friend has just won millions on the lotto. What would you say? Please, sir, can I have some more? Yes. You would say you are lucky. You are lucky. Yes, very good. Okay, click there. Okay, you just found out your friend's birthday is today. What would you say? A, you have birthday today. B, it's your birthday today. What would you say? Slap the shoulder and give him a high five. These are funny comments. Yes, I think everyone's had their morning coffee. We've got B's. Yes, thank you, Marta, Evelina, Anna. Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. It's B. It's your birthday today. Congratulations. Well done. Okay, hold on. Clicking. Okay. So I don't know how you feel about mistakes. So we're going to change gears a little bit. Making mistakes is actually a natural part of the learning process. It's totally essential for growth. So every time you stumble over a word or mispronounce something, it's not just a mistake. It's a chance to learn and refine your skills. So when we're working with children, we often find that we don't get angry with them when they make mistakes. Instead, we encourage them and help them see their moments as opportunities to grow. And this is such an important mindset to adopt for ourselves as well. I don't know if anyone works with young kids, but we don't tend to, you know, scold them for making mistakes. We tend to encourage them. So how do we tackle this perfectionism? First, we need to shift our mindset, focus on the progress instead of perfection. Remember, fluency comes from practice, not from waiting until you feel ready. So immerse yourself in English through podcasts, films, conversations, and this exposure helps you internalize the right way without the pressure of speaking perfectly right away. And don't forget, we need to practice speaking, engage in conversations, even if you make mistakes, even if you feel uncomfortable. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become. And it's all about building that confidence. So here's the takeaway. Waiting until you can speak perfectly is really the best way to never speak well at all. So embrace those mistakes. Even us native speakers make mistakes when we're speaking English, you know? So remember, every error is just part of your journey to becoming a more confident English speaker. So just like we support our students when they stumble, let's be kind to ourselves and recognize that learning is just a process filled with ups and downs, and every mistake brings us one step closer to our goals. So okay, so I wanted to go through this quickly with you. There is this thing called the stages of improvement. So we're starting here, awareness. So the first step is recognizing our mistakes. So this is crucial because it opens a door to improvement. Then we have correction. So we're actively correcting your mistakes. So maybe the teacher might point out an error. You take the time to rephrase that and make it correct. And hearing yourself say the right expression helps solidify that connection in your brain. And then after that, you move on to, when you keep practicing, you start catching your own errors before anyone else does. And this shows that you are actually internalizing the correct usage. And then finally, eventually, you use the correct expressions naturally without even thinking about it. And this is when you know you have truly mastered that part of the language. So it's important to shift how you view mistakes. You know, I want to encourage everyone to keep making mistakes instead of seeing them as, you know, setbacks, recognizing them as opportunities for growth. So this mindset will just boost your confidence, but also encourage more practice and even more experimentation with the language. And I have something in store for you coming up soon. Let me click. Here. So here's what I've been working on. So this is your chance to practice speaking English in a fun, supportive space where making mistakes is totally okay. And you'll get to chat with fellow learners, share stories, learn from each other without any pressure. It's all about having a good time while improving your skills. That's my motto in life. Each week we'll have a different theme where I'll invite you to share your thoughts, your opinions. And after all, I know Polish people have very strong opinions on everything. So this is a fantastic way to practice expressing your ideas in English, and it will boost your confidence no end. And it will just make you a better communicator and a better teacher. So I'll be there to help you with any pronunciation issues and give you the tips along the way. So we will meet weekly for an hour, maybe more. About 60 minutes. And I'll provide conversation prompts and keep things flowing. And we'll have a new theme. It's coming, Anna, it's coming. We will have a new theme each week. You'll get feedback throughout the sessions to help you improve. Plus, we'll have a friendly WhatsApp group where we will chat more. So it's a great place for weekly discussion, sharing ideas, and we'll practice, you know, advanced listening skills because it will be done on voice notes and things like that. And this club is totally open to anyone, no matter what your level is. And the more you practice these conversations, the better teacher you will become, the better communicator you'll become. So have a look at that QR code. All the details will be there, I hope. Okay, wait, hold on. How much is the course? Okay, I use so much you do not see your teacher as a reference for your language skills. Why? Teachers tend Well, hold on. Teachers tend to talk as perfect as possible. Exactly. The teacher is used to correct language and pronunciation many hours a day. That doesn't represent the colloquial user. Exactly. Welcome to my world. I just have, I'm from London actually. So we have this, I don't know if it's like not much of an accent, but yeah, I speak quite not so formal. I don't speak like a bank manager or anything. So yeah, this is my world. Colloquial.
You speak
Oh,
like a crypto manager?
yes, yeah. Like Elon Musk? No. No, I just speak like somebody you meet on the street, I think.
Huh?
Okay, so we will have our weekly theme, supportive environment. Yep, native speaker. Hold on. And this is the price, $2.99. And this is for 6 weeks. And all the details are on this little QR code. And if anyone's got any questions. Oh, yes. So here is your free 25 conversation starters you can use now in your classrooms.